Tulane fans, welcome back to another episode of Inside the Wave. This time we're joined by Tulane Safety Jack Tchienchou. Jack, say hey.
What's going on?
We appreciate you joining us. It's been a pretty successful season so far for the Wave. A lot to be excited about. We're appreciative of your time. We're going to talk a little bit about your journey to Tulane. Obviously, you transferred over from Troy. We're going to talk about the win last week against North Texas, and then you have a big game tomorrow against Charlotte. So we're going to talk a little about that. So the first question is, obviously, you came over from Tulane from Troy, as did Coach Sumroth. So I just want to know what kind of went into your decision to choose Tulane, and how much of that, if any, came from belief in Coach Sumroth versus other factors.
This really all started in my recruiting from high school. I think I built a really strong relationship with the staff. And, last year I didn't play a huge role at Troy. I redshirted, kept a year. And, when the opportunity presented itself, it was hard to say no. It's a great staff. They work well together. They're here for the players. And, it was a great opportunity all around.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Tulane. You've been here for a while now, but do you remember what your first impressions of New Orleans and of Tulane were?
I remember on my official visit in January, we're on what street is that? The Canal Street, maybe, and we're dancing, listening to music and stuff with Summerall and some of the other recruits, and I think that's kind of when I was like, New Orleans is a special place.
Yeah, it's my favorite city in the world. So, I was born in New Orleans, and I'm glad I get to be there right now. There's nowhere else like it. What do you think your biggest development has been as a player so far this season between your last season and this one?
I think my play speed has improved a lot. Uh, when you know what you're doing and you know how to get to the right position, I think you're able to make the plays that you're supposed to make and some. So, the jump in terms of like my knowledge of the game, I think has improved for sure.
Yeah, you can tell it shows up on tape. Actually, talking about that, I believe it was your post-game presser, Matty Hudak, asked you a question, and you talked a little bit about tackling with your arms instead of your shoulder. Where did you learn that? Do you know who taught you that?
I'm sure they teach. That's how they want to teach it every time. But we really focus on that with Coach Gass and Coach Green. Bringing your arms, it's it's really what it's really what keeps the guys on the ground. They can bounce off a shoulder tackle. So bringing your arms is really what secures those tackles.
Yeah, and I'm talking a little bit about North Texas. What did you think of the defense's overall performance against North Texas getting a win?
Uh, I mean we we played all right, not to our standard for sure, but we have some things we had to clean up, some eyes, some staying over top on some things. But other than that, I think we played pretty solid. Um, we were able to get back there a couple of times. Fobbs had a pretty good game. Um, all around the secondary was flying around, making plays.
So as a defense, when your offense is consistently putting up 40, like this Tulane offense has done, what's that like watching that on the sideline? And does that change the way that y'all play at all, knowing that you have a more than capable offense to complement you?
It's great knowing that the offense can, make them pay for, a three and out or make them pay for having to punt it in the short field. So, that's always great to have that. And then on defense, we're all making adjustments. So a lot of the time we don't even really get to see what goes on the offensive side until like, oh, big play, touchdown, the replay. But it's definitely nice to know the offense has our backs.
I highly recommend watching the highlights then because it's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I believe y'all fly out here in a couple hours. You play Charlotte tomorrow. Um, what do you think the keys are for the team, and more specifically the secondary, to make sure you come out of this game with a win?
They have a couple of quarterbacks they've played. I think 15 has a live arm, so I think we're gonna need to stay on top of those big routes. And then stopping the run is always number one on our list. So once we stop the run, we can force them to throw the ball, and then once we get them to throw the ball, we can get our pass rushers back there and cause havoc back there.
Yeah, when it all works, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, Well, that's all we got for you today, Jack. Thank you for coming on the show. I don't want to make you late for your flight. I appreciate your time. Yeah, roll wave. Let's make sure we get a win tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Roll wave.
Roll wave.